What if I told you the smartest economic move in Africa this year was rejecting free money? Zimbabwe just slammed the door on a $350 million US health deal, not because they don't need it. 1.3 million Zimbabweans depend on US-funded HIV treatment, but because the fine print read like a colonial lease agreement. Meanwhile, they banned all lithium exports. Raw materials? Yes. Finished batteries? That's the play. This isn't Zimbabwe being difficult. This is a masterclass in 21st century sovereignty. And if you are African, you need to understand why this affects your future. Let's break down what just happened. The US offered $367 million over 5 years for health programs. Sounds generous, right? Here is the catch. America wanted direct access to Zimbabwe's national health data, not anonymized statistics. We are talking granular, population level information, and the report suggests they wanted linkages to Zimbabwe's critical minerals. President Emmerson Mnangagwa looked at the contract and said, "Thanks, but we'll keep our data and our lithium, please." Now, the US Embassy is scrambling, claiming this puts HIV treatment at risk. But here is what they are not saying. Zimbabwe already spends $100 million annually on HIV programs. The US contribution, helpful, but this is the same playbook we have been seeing before. Aid with strings attached, data colonialism dressed up as development, and Zimbabwe just called the bluff. While the drama unfolded, Zimbabwe's Ministry of Mines dropped another bombshell: immediate suspension of all lithium concentrate exports. Even shipments already in transit turned back. Here is why this is genius. Zimbabwe holds Africa's largest lithium reserves, the stuff that powers your phone, your laptop, and the electric vehicle revolution. For years, they've been the raw material, ATM for Chinese and Western tech companies. The new rule: if you want Zimbabwe's lithium, build the factory here, create jobs here, transfer technology here. Minister Polite Kambamura didn't mince his words. Zimbabwe is transitioning from being predominantly a supplier of raw materials to a more developed player. This is resource nationalism 2.0 and is spreading. The bigger picture. Let's zoom out. The US is currently signing similar health deals across Africa under its America's First strategy. Rwanda, Uganda, Lesotho, Eswatini, all on board. But Zimbabwe asks the question others are whispering: what are we actually trading away? Health data is the new oil. Whoever controls population health information controls predictive models, pharmaceuticals markets, and biological insights. Handing that to a foreign power, that's not aid, that's asset stripping. The counter arguments. Now the critics are loud. Zimbabwe can't afford to refuse aid. This is dictatorship posturing. The economy will collapse. Fair. Zimbabwe's economy is fragile. Inflation is volatile. And yes, Mnangagwa's government has legitimate questions. But here's the reframe: dependence is also a choice. For decades, African nations accepted aid that undermined local institutions, health systems built around NGO priorities rather than national strategies, mining sectors designed for export rather than industrialization. Zimbabwe is getting that short-term pain beats long-term structural vulnerability. And if they win, if they build battery plants instead of shipping ore, if they fund health systems without data handovers, they rewrite the playbook, right?